Mughals were from Mongolian origin and ruling Delhi at that time. The first Mughal invader was Babur, and the current terrorist sitting on the throne of Delhi was Muinuddin Aurangzeb. He had 20 regions or subas in India, and one of them was Maharashtra. He had came to know that Shivaji Raje had established Hindavi Swaraj in Maharashtra. He never tolerated any Hindu becoming an independent ruler. So he sent his trusted uncle Shaista Khan to crush Hindavi Swaraj. Shaista Khan was living in Lal Mahal and destroying the cities, villages, and agriculture of Maharashtra. He could only capture a small city fort of Chakan with a lot of efforts. Shaiste Khan sent Kar Talab Khan, an Uzbek commander, to capture the coastal area of Maharashtra, that is Konkan. He was reinforced with the troops of Savitribai Deshmukh, a clever and fighter lady. She was a widow and serving in behalf of her son. She was so brave and successful that she was called Rai Baghan, meaning Queen Tigress. Kara Talab Khan kept his route secret. He discussed it with none, even not Rai Baghan. Their campaign moved towards west, passing through the city of Lonavala and routes near Fort Lohagad. In the map, you can see that this is Pune and this is Konkan area, right from Goa to Vasai. All this is Konkan area. So from Pune, he had to move towards Konkan and he had selected a route through Lonavala. This is the Umberkend which I am going to narrate in this story. Their campaign moved towards west, passing through the city of Lonavala and routes near Fort Lohagad. Shivaji Raje's commandant of Fort Lohagad was silently watching from the fort, but he did not attack the marching force. The Mughals were also surprised by this. They marched towards west and started climbing down at Umberkhand. Now it was noon. Everyone was tired and thirsty. All water in their stock was already consumed and no water source was visible nearby. They had sent persons in search of water. Suddenly, they had to face arrows coming from all directions. They could not see any enemy, but arrows were hitting and killing their soldiers. They found that they were surrounded by Shivaji Raje's soldiers from all the directions. They were not in a position to fight. Kar Talab Khan tried to motivate his soldiers to fight, but there was no use. At last, Savitribai suggested him to beg pardon of Shivaji Raje, who was leading the attack. Shivaji Raje himself was present there. Kartalab Khan went to the hilltop where Shivaji Raje was waiting for him. He saw that Shivaji Raje was shining as a king. He was wearing white expensive dress, wearing ornaments. He was seated on his favorite horse and he was smiling. Kara Talab Khan narrated to him about his friendship with Shahaji Raje and begged for pardon. Shivaji Raje saved his life and asked him to leave all horses, elephants, weapons, treasure, and go back. Everything was left behind for Hindavi Swaraj to use, and Kartalab Khan returned. Shivaji Raje started discussing secretly with his spies and nobles about attack on Shahiste Khan. It was impossible to defeat him in direct battle because there were 1 lakh enemy soldiers with Shaiste Khan. A surgical strike would be the correct action. He gathered complete information, discussed with his trusted people, and formulated a plan for this. It was the month of Ramjan. It was holy month for Muslims. They normally stopped wars in this month. They never respected anything related to Hindu Dharma but expected Hindus to respect theirs. Shivaji Raje decided not to respect Ramjan and planned an attack in the same month. He made a troop of 2,000 selected soldiers and, with a secret plan, left Rajgarh in evening and reached Pune in night. The dinner of Ramjan was complete and everyone was taking rest. Shivaji Raje kept his force in the outskirts of Pune and entered Pune with a small number of soldiers with best quality and training which can compare with today's commandos. A force of 1 lakh soldiers was waiting him there. He was stopped at various checkposts. Shivaji Raje told them that he is from the patrolling party of Shaiste Khan's camp only. Probably they were having necessary forged documents. They reached the backside of Lal Mahal and passed through the garden. In Ramjan, Muslims eat before dawn and after sunset. The cooks and servants in kitchen area had to sleep late and get up early to prepare food. They were using a rear gate for bringing in their raw material supplies. That gate was normally open 24 hours. Shivaji Raje entered through this gate and killed the cooks and servants there. They made some noise while being killed, and Shaiste Khan's son got alert. He talked to his father, who was sleeping in Janan Khana, that is Haram, but he was silenced. From the kitchen to the queen's area, there was a small corridor which was closed with brickwork. Shivaji Raje got the bricks removed and opened the door to corridor. They climbed through the corridor and entered Shaiste Khan's bedroom. He was sleeping with his number of wives. The wives were clever. When they came to know about the attack of enemy, they put off all the lamps and hid Shaiste Khan among themselves. Shivaji Raje attacked with his sword. Shaiste Khan tried to escape and Shivaji Raje's sword chopped off his fingers. Shivaji Raje thought that he has killed Shaiste Khan. Meanwhile, everyone had started shouting and calling for help from outside. The doors were opened and soldiers started coming in. In the chaotic situation, Shivaji Raje escaped with all his soldiers and moved fast towards Rajgarh. When Shaista Khan's soldiers tried to catch Shivaji Raje, they saw a lot of soldiers passing through the Katras pass. They went to that direction. When they reached Katras, they found that there were no soldiers but bulls, and their horns were carrying burning lamps. Thus, they were fooled, and Shivaji Raje's consignment escaped safely. Next day, Shivaji Raje's spies gave him news that Shahista was not killed, but his fingers were cut. His son and wife were killed. Many other people were also killed or injured. Shaiste Khan was so much frightened by this attack that he decided to run for life. He immediately moved to Khadki, that is Aurangabad as it was named by Muslims. Aurangzeb was so much angry with this news that he punished Shaiste Khan with transfer to Bengal. Shaiste Khan sent letters to Aurangzeb to cancel his transfer, but finally he had to go. He stayed in Bengal for a long time. Shivaji Raje had forced Shaista Khan to flee, but Khan had damaged the economy of Maharashtra. For 2 years, Shaista Khan was looting our Maharashtra. Shivaji Raje decided to avenge this by looting Mughals' prosperous harbour city of Surat. Surat was a very rich city. Trade with other countries was routed through this harbour. Mughals collected huge tax on this trade. Shivaji Raje sent his chief of spies Bahirji Naik to Surat. Information in detail about number of soldiers, wealthy people, estimate of wealth, enemy troops nearby, their traveling time was collected, and this helped Shivaji Raje to make a detailed secret plan. How Shivaji Raje completed this plan and how he made the attack, we will see in our next episode. Before that, like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you very much. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ki Jai.